This is Dan, and we are in his home in Copenhagen, Denmark. It's a super cool flat located right on Islandsbrygge. It's a gorgeous view. And he's invited us in, and we're going to be checking out his home. He's wanting to list it for Airbnb, right? And what we want to do is we want to show you some of the common mistakes that people make when listing their homes on Airbnb and some simple ways that we can fix it. So he's been very kind to let us kind of mess things up a little bit. We're going to give you some before shots. You wouldn't normally entertain that way, but he's doing that for us today. So thank you for doing that.
No problem.
And we're going to get started. So
Our
number one recommendation when you're listing your home on Airbnb is to really show what it is that's distinctive about it. What is it that separates your home, not only from the ones in the street and in the neighborhood, but from your whole country? People want to know, what is it that's special about your place? And for here, this place is all about view. Look at this view. Isn't this amazing? So we've got our camera, and we are going to take some shots of this, because this is definitely, this right here is what's going to sell this place.
While catching photos of that view outside is hugely important, for tip number 2, you want to make sure to properly expose the inside of your home as well. I see a lot of people make this mistake where they expose the view and forget to expose the inside of the home, and it ends up looking really dark. So be sure to show your guests that your home is super sunny and bright.
They say that the kitchen is the heart of the home. So for our third recommendation, we want to remind you to make sure to make your kitchen feel super welcoming. Sometimes as a guest, it can feel a bit like you're intruding on someone's space. So when you're getting your home ready for your guests and for your photos, before you take photos, go through your kitchen and just kind of declutter a little bit. It'll help it feel a lot more inviting, and it'll definitely make your guests want to stay here.
For tip number 4, I recommend that you turn your lights off. I know that seems a little bit counterintuitive, but the truth is that sometimes when you leave those lights on, it can make your space feel a bit yellow and sometimes even seedy. So turn those lights off and grab some really great shots that will feel inviting to your guests.
My fifth recommendation is to go through your space and really just kind of style it up a little bit. You want it to feel very warm and inviting, but at the same time, you might need to straighten a little bit, put some things away. Dan invited me the first time over just to kind of look at it. He was really kind. We've got the before shot for you. This is not cleaned up at all. And even though it might seem like this is kind of a little bit crazy, a lot of people take photos like that for their Airbnb. And if you're a guest, you kind of feel like you're intruding into somebody's space. So you just want to simplify things, and if you're not really sure about things, invite a friend over, have them look at the space, and maybe they can tell you some of the tips and things that you can do that will help it feel a little bit more welcoming, but maybe not so intrusive. So we're gonna get straightening. For my number 6 recommendation, we are in the bathroom. And while you want the kitchen to feel warm and inviting and lived in, when it comes to the bathroom, you want this place to feel like no one has ever been in here before. Just trust me. The last thing you want to do as a guest is show up and have the counter covered in all kinds of personal items. So pull things out, declutter, and make it feel like your guest is going to have somewhere to actually put their things. Super important. So let's get to work.
Tip number 6 is to open those blinds up and let all that gorgeous natural light come in. This is the best way to get great shots of your rooms. The number one reason I hear from others why they don't use Airbnb is because of the bedroom. It creeps them out a little bit. So what you want to do is fix that bed, put on some gorgeous linens, and really make the space feel inviting and clean for your guests.
One of the common errors that I see people make over and over is that they always leave their laundry in the shots. So for tip number 9, you want to make sure that you take out the laundry, whether it's a pile on the bed or on the floor or like a rack, which a lot of Europeans have. Just take it all out. What you really want is to tell your guests, there's room for you here, you're welcome, and I'm going to make sure that you're taken care of while you're here. I'm picking you like blue.
Oh yes. Through.
Final tip is to get outside, show everybody your neighborhood that you love so much. I mean, look at this. This is awesome. You want to show that so everybody will know what they're going to get when they come to visit. So thank you so much for joining us, and be sure to visit houseofvalentina.com to see all the details if you'd like to rent Dan's apartment on Airbnb. Thanks so much for following along. Now I'm going to have pizza at his favorite pizza shop. I'll see you guys later. So for here, it's all about this view.